Entering into a relationship always carries with it an inherent risk, but that risk is magnified within the wrestling industry because of the publicity or the temptations that appear while being on the road. Unfortunately, if tragedy does strike, Vince McMahon often sees this as television gold rather than being sympathetic towards the situation. Here are the top 10 real wrestling relationships that ended in disaster. Chris Sabin and Velvet Sky. Fans on TNA were devastated when they heard that these two had split, reportedly due to her being unfaithful with Bully Ray, who you will likely know as Bubba Ray. The two have shared nasty interactions on Twitter, which is the perfect place in 2016 to sort out your relationship. To this day, not on good terms, and one definitely has to feel sorry for the talented Sabin in this situation. Hey, let's look at the bright side. At least Velvet Sky is still with Bubba Ray. Lita and Matt Hardy. Although this was a tragic end for two fan favorites, it made for quite possibly the most entertaining storyline for Matt's WWE run. After all, you know Vince's motto, tragedy and heartbreak equal money. As the story goes, when Hardy was out injured, Lita became romantically attached to Edge, which enraged Matt and got him fired. But WWE brought him back when they saw that angle could make money. Then Edge and Lita fell out too. So I guess that's two disastrous endings in one. Chyna and Triple H. This is one that fans might not be fully aware of, but Hunter was still dating Chyna when he became romantically involved with Stephanie McMahon, not wanting his son-in-law to face any repercussions from this blatant affair. Chyna was forced out of his company under very disappointing circumstances, as she was truly one of the pioneers of the wrestling business. Chris and Nancy Benoit. There are no jokes to be made about this one, as it is one of the most devastating and heartbreaking events in the history of professional wrestling. Sadly, the physical toll on Chris's brain, along with potential drug and alcohol abuse, would make Chris snap. Tragically from there, he would take his wife and his son's life along with his own. Many longtime fans of the stand-up wrestler want to see his abilities be acknowledged by the WWE, but the right decision has been made in the aftermath of this disastrous end. Karen and Kurt Angle. This is a relationship disaster that TNA played out on its programming. In what was the most scandalous story in wrestling history for the period of time, Karen cheated on Kurt with on-screen authority figure Jeff Jarrett. Thankfully, nothing like this happens in WWE, right? Bringing Karen on screen is the decision Kurt no doubt regretted. But according to all three parties, all the issues have been smoothed out and there is no animosity, even though Karen and Jeff are now married. Mickie James and Ken Doane. This controversy has been well documented. And for good reason, as it involved the golden boy of WWE, John Cena, who Ken Doane claimed was seeing Mickie James behind his back. Calling out the top guy in the company? Wise move, Ken. Like many stars in the company who have lost their push, he was eventually released from his contract. It was a disappointing end for a star who was once seen as a major player in the future of WWE. Whoever is to blame, everyone has moved on from the situation. Nancy and Kevin Sullivan. This broken relationship led to one of the biggest tragedies in wrestling history, as Nancy left her partner Kevin Sullivan in the late 1990s to date WCW star Chris Benoit. Amazingly, the two had great in-ring chemistry and put on some great hardcore matches, but that doesn't take away from the disastrous end to their relationship, which led Nancy to eventually marrying Benoit in 1997. Matt Hardy and Ashley Massaro. Out of all the entries in this list, this one harbors the most lingering hatred, as Matt Hardy and Paul London, whom Ashley Massaro had an affair with, still refuse to work with each other to this day. Although all three have moved on to other relationships, this unnecessary hatred still exists due to London's supposed unprofessionalism. And while this is understandable from both sides, I'd be pretty upset too if I lost a girl like Ashley Massaro. Melina and John Morrison. Melina was known as quite the diva in her time with the company. And unfortunately for her, this perception stayed with her, which also hurt her boyfriend at the time, the shaman of sexy, John Morrison. This hindered both their WWE careers, as Melina was rumored to have been seeing Batista and Mike Knox during her time with Morrison. It's kind of surprising that someone as chiseled as Morrison would have a problem keeping a lady, right? Whether they're on good terms now or not, this drama was the reason why both performers were let go from the company. Sunny and everyone. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Sunny has fallen on hard times. And one of the factors that may have caused this is the way that she handled her relationships while with the WWE, from HBK to Bret Hart to Chris Candido to Davey Richards. The original diva has had trouble with wrestling relationships, and she is one that wrestlers should just plain avoid. Her downfall has led to her entering the adult industry. One can only hope that she can pick herself up again in the near future. And that's our list. Let us know what you think. Also like, share, subscribe, and check our other awesome videos.